Alrighty, so welcome to the channel. Welcome to an early morning episode of Brit on a Bike. I am about to ride from Santa Clarita, Los Angeles, north, all the way down to Lake Elsinore in San Diego County. It's about 110 miles. It's going to be the very first time I get to have a good freeway ride on the big BMW. I just put in $21 worth of gas, 5.1 gallons at $4 a gallon. Here's the Beamer. We're going to see how she does on the freeway for 120 miles in each direction. I'm actually heading down to an intermediate riding clinic to help instruct, so I'll be down there for the day. Beautiful morning, the sun is about to come up. And I will do my best to document the ride down, at least in one direction. Alright, phone is on, maps is on. Side stand up. I agree. Fuel is full. We're at 8,477 miles. And we're away. So, fingers crossed we're going to have a nice safe ride. Enjoy the sunrise. Enjoy the BMW on the freeway. Catch that light. Don't want to sit there for 5 minutes waiting for a light to change if I don't have to. Very little traffic on the surface streets. Oh, this bike dips into corners so beautifully. The weight just melts away over 5 miles an hour. Pushing the thing around the driveway is heavy. Windshield up. Just an extraordinary feeling on this bike. I'm so used to riding my Suzuki Bandit. There's a lot more wind on you, even though that has a good windshield, an aftermarket windshield on it. This thing just is so quiet when you ride. I feel like I'm being hugged by the wind. The aerodynamics of the bike just wrap around you, kind of pull you forward into the bike very slightly. I've got absolutely no wind on me. And it feels just completely stable at speed. I mean, this is just sitting at 70 miles an hour in 6th gear at 3,000 RPMs. Effortless cruising. I mean, this is what this bike's designed and built for. They do everything else well, but long distance freeway miles, they just eat them up. So heading south here on the 5 freeway, I'm going to be taking the 210 to the 15, and then the 15 south down towards San Diego. Class starts, I think, at 8 o'clock. We've got students arriving at 7 to 7:30. Because I'm coming from so far away, I don't have to be there super early. The other instructors will be setting up the bikes, setting up the range. So I just thought, you know what, I'll film the ride. I got the camera or the GoPro on the front of the helmet. There might be a couple of you out there in YouTube land that want to see what a freeway looks like on a Sunday morning at 6 a.m. in Los Angeles. It's not usually like this. It's usually just packed with cars and trucks. Which is one of the reasons I ride a motorcycle in Los Angeles. I just can't deal with all the traffic. And if you have a bike, traffic is never an issue. Yeah, you're just wrapped in a cocoon of technology, stability, smoothness and power. I'm sounding like a BMW ad. They are wizards. They are wizards. What is this witchcraft? After riding these big BMWs, it's hard to go back to riding anything else long distance on the freeway. It really is. Well, my GPS wants me to stay on the 5 freeway south rather than taking, so I'm going to listen to what the GPS suggests because it has traffic updates built into it. So the one thing with this bike obviously is you have a GPS built into the display, which is nice, but it doesn't give you real-time traffic updates like my cell phone does when I ride. There's an app called Waze, which is rideshare based in the fact that you can put information into it. If you see a cop, if there's a traffic accident, if there's construction, if there's something going on, it's usually on the map. And what that means is I'm getting proper updates rather than just directions. It's nice to know if there's an accident ahead or if there's a speed trap or something. So I actually prefer the GPS on my phone. Plus I've got the Bluetooth sunk up through the bike, so if I get a phone call it's going to come in through my headphones, and I can listen to music through Spotify or something, all through my iPhone. I could also play the radio through the bike, through the headphones, and the headset set up that way. So it's nice to have all that technology built in. And one of the things that makes this bike so special also is the cruise control. I know a lot of the new modern bikes have got cruise control, but the long distance touring bikes, BMW have had that technology for a long while now. At least 10 years, if not longer. So to be able to set the speed and cruise control is just fantastic. And relax your right hand. The other thing I absolutely love about this bike is the profile. It's the identical profile of all the police bikes, because this is what a lot of them ride. Either the RT 1200, 1250, and a few police departments use the K1600. But the front profile is pretty much the same, so drivers looking in their rear view mirror, seeing this coming up behind them, inevitably think, oh, police officer, get out of the way, pull over. And although I do work for the California Highway Patrol, teaching the motorcycle safety program, I am not a police officer. So during COVID, when COVID was at its peak, this was a Monday morning rush hour drive. Everybody was at home. And the Highway Patrol were giving out tickets left, right and center to people who got in their sports cars and decided now was a good time to see how fast the sports car could go. I think they gave out more high-speed tickets, speeding tickets to drivers over the last sort of 6 to 9 months of COVID, because just there was no one on the road. Everybody was home under lockdown. So yeah, this Sunday morning ride feels a little bit like a Monday morning commute during COVID. But things have definitely picked up in the last few months. People are getting back to work. People are getting vaccinated. World is going back to normal, sort of, the new normal. Whatever that means. So I'm heading due south right now, and you can see the sun's just coming up on the horizon to my left, in the east. So I'm trying to figure out how I put this on YouTube and not make it boring, because it's going to be an hour and a half of me sitting on a freeway driving in a straight line. I think I may have to hit the speed up button and turn an hour and a half ride into 15 minutes or something, with a little bit of on-bike commentary, because I really don't have that much interesting to say. Aside from the fact that it's an awesome bike, the freeway's nice, there's not much traffic, the sun's coming up, and it's a lovely morning for a ride south. And I get to experience putting some miles on this big boy for the first time. I've only had the bike a few weeks, getting used to riding it. I've just been doing local freeway riding on it. So this is the first long distance cruise. But I do typically run my GoPro camera whenever I ride, just for safety's sake. That way I have a record of the ride, and I have a record of if something happens, you know, for insurance reasons. I can refer to the video footage of whatever bad happened, how it happened. Unfortunately, I've never had an accident on a motorcycle, so I've seen a lot, I've witnessed a lot, I've driven past a lot, I've been first on the scene of a few where bikes have gone down and I'm there to assist. I always carry a triage kit in the back of my bike on the pannier, so I've got medical stuff with me in case somebody needs something. I've had to use that a couple of times. Bandages and disinfectant. So I got a nice big pickup truck or a SUV behind me. I'll get into the slower lane, let him go around me. I could be sitting in the carpool lane, the HOV lane, if I wanted to. But traffic doesn't require me to be in there right now. There's no need. As far as safety goes, I want an emergency escape route to the left, and I want an emergency escape route to the right if I need to do something to get out of harm's way. So some of you in foreign countries just see me undertaking to the right. That's actually legal in California. You're allowed to undertake to the right of slower traffic, as well as overtake to the left. So no comments please on, hey, you're driving illegally, although I am speeding a little bit, 85. But you know, there's very little traffic. I am what you could describe as being a rather experienced motorcyclist. Not that that is an excuse for speeding, because speed does kill. Well, it's not actually the speed that kills, it's slowing down quickly. Going fast has never killed anybody. It's the stopping part. Really, really quickly, that usually gets people killed. What was it Newton said? An object in motion stays in motion until it meets an object of equal or opposite resistance in the opposite direction, causing it to stop. Something like that. Oh, I love this big windshield in front of me. Crystal clear. I've got a really good Panovision visor on my helmet, which actually is photochromatic, so when the sun comes up and I've got the sun in my eyes, it will tint to a dark tint. It's like wearing sunglasses without the pressure of having sunglasses against your ears and on the side of your temples or your head when you're got your helmet on, which I don't like at all. If I do wear sunglasses when I ride, I'll wear a very thin wire frame sunglass, like Ray-Ban aviators, because there's so little pressure then on my side of my head. But majority of sunglasses with a helmet on are really bloody uncomfortable after a while. They look cool, but once I discovered the photochromatic lens on the visor that tints, I will never go back. I will use that always. Even at night it stays crystal clear, which is awesome. So I mean, I've only done 10-15 miles on this bike this morning since leaving the gas station and getting on the freeway, and it's effortless. It's absolutely effortless. I don't have to think about riding this bike and what it's doing underneath me. It's just completely planted and stable at speed. All of my attention is on situational awareness, rider awareness. What's going on in front of me? What are these cars and trucks doing on the road in front of me? And that's what keeps you safe on the road as a motorcyclist on a bike. Awareness of what everybody else is doing so that you can react accordingly quickly with enough time to get yourself out of trouble. So if you're riding a bike that, you know, is a naked bike, semi-naked bike, and you've got the wind in your face and the wind buffeting you, trying to push you off the back of the bike, and it takes away your focus somewhat, because you're worried about stability, you're worried about keeping upright, you're worried about control and traction. So I really can see why these bikes are so popular for long distance freeway touring. I mean, there's plenty of people that own these bikes. I'm one of them. That I have no plans on driving across America on this bike. I've absolutely no doubt it could do it. I just don't have the time to do it. I want to do some long distance riding, but as and when. So I got a bunch of traffic on my left. I'll wait for them to go round, pull around this truck. So 80 miles an hour. Let's see what she's got on the freeway. Oh, there she goes. Just an enormous amount of power there in 6th gear for overtaking. If you need it, it's there. It had better be, right? It's 160 horsepower, 1600cc V6 motorcycle. It's almost as big as you can get. The riding position is very upright, it's very comfortable. I feel like I'm sitting in a comfortable chair. It's lovely. We'll see how I feel after an hour and a half of riding. If I have any back pain or knee pain or elbow pain. I hope not, or it'll mean I have to change the seat for something more comfortable. But compared to the stock seat on the Bandit, which I was used to, which I didn't really like, it's very good for the track. It's a great track seat, but for freeway driving and cruising and long distance riding on the Bandit, no. It is not conducive to a comfortable ride. I had a sore bottom after about 20 minutes, half an hour riding on that thing. First thing I did was put the Corbin gunfighter seat on that thing. It made a huge difference to my comfort. But I don't feel like this seat needs to be changed. I might change my mind on that as my ownership experience changes. I know some BMW riders buy Corbins or other aftermarket seats. Love the handling of this thing, the cornering, it just, oh, like a knife through hot butter. Smooth. Bumpy concrete roads, just not smooth. One of the things that frustrates me the most is the poor quality of freeway construction, highway construction. They don't use asphalt and tar very much here in California, and they say it's because of just the amount of wear that the freeways get, the amount of, just vehicles and traffic on the roads. Just, it gets so hot and so cold and so hot and so cold because it's mostly desert that the asphalt just gets destroyed so quickly. So they go with concrete. And this pressure treated concrete, they cut grooves in the surface to channel the water and to give you better grip and traction for your tires, but they just don't make them smooth. I don't know what their problem is with they have huge machinery for laying and pouring massive stretches of concrete, but no one's quite figured out yet how to smooth it out properly. It's embarrassing. They give the job to the lowest possible bidder and they do a crappy job, and we're all left with driving on patchy, bumpy, not smooth concrete roads, which you would imagine in California, one of the richest states in America, if not the richest state, with Silicon Valley here up in San Francisco in the Bay Area, and San Diego just south of me, and here, Los Angeles, and with the film business here. You'd think with the billions of dollars they get in revenue, tax revenue, to actually build roads with and fix the roads, they would do a better job. But I don't know, no one seems to complain, no one seems to do anything. They spend the money, they fixed up these roads, which takes years and years of freeway construction, and then you're left with these sort of half-assed construction jobs. So you need good suspension, is what I'm basically saying. You need good shocks on your bike and in your car. So my GPS here is telling me to take the 10 freeway out to San Bernardino, where I'm going to catch the 15. So I'm still going to be taking the 15 south, which is one of the main freeways from Las Vegas to San Diego, basically. In 3/4 of a mile, I'll be heading out on the 10 freeway east, riding straight into the sun. Mirror, head check, make sure there's no one next to me. I have a nice view of downtown Los Angeles. Keep my eyes on that. There you go, sun coming up over LA. Ten east to San Bernardino. Dip into this corner, tuck in, drop down a little. Not that you really need it, it's just fun. Dip into the right, drop down. Oof, that was a bit of a bump. Nice and stable though. Here comes the sun. Be interesting to see what the footage looks like on the GoPro with the sun coming straight up and into it, and whether or not any of this is recorded. I could be talking to myself. I know for a fact the battery on this thing is going to die after about 45 minutes at the most, so I'll have to pull over and change the battery. We'll see if it recorded. Put a new battery in for the second half of the ride. So I'll probably have to do one of these videos where I'm actually riding in rush hour traffic. You get to experience what it's usually like, what it's normally like, what it is typically like on the freeways in Los Angeles. There are a bunch of actually really good videos on YouTube of people commuting on various freeways in Los Angeles. Everybody knows what it's like to drive in horrible traffic. Riding a bike in heavy traffic's a little different. Lane splitting, dealing with all of that. And here comes the sun. Oof. And my visor instantly tinted to black, which is really nice. One of the biggest selling points for this bike for me was the fact that it's just so quiet when you ride at speed. Riding the Bandit, I absolutely had to have earplugs in. I had to wear earplugs. It was just so loud with the wind, the noise of the bike. I mean, I did have a Yoshimura exhaust on it, so it is loud. But just the wind noise and the road noise, made it, I had to ride it. I had to use earplugs, which after a while Gets rather painful actually in your ear. Your ears get a bit sore with that pressure of a plug in your ear to block the noise. And on this bike, absolutely not. It's not loud enough with my helmet on behind this wall of protection, wind protection, and aerodynamics. The way it's designed, it's just it's extraordinary. It's fantastic. It's just it's quiet. I can hear myself think. I'm not going to give myself any more tinnitus. Which unfortunately is something that I do suffer with, that ringing in the ears, which is very common. I mean, heck, I'm 50 now, so I've used power tools for decades doing construction work, and headphones doing voice work, music and editing and mixing, and of course riding motorcycles for 40 years now. I'm in my 41st year of motorcycle riding. So yeah, looking at Waze right now, it's telling me there's 2 police cars coming up ahead in about a mile. Somebody has reported some police activity ahead, so that just gives me a heads up. It gives me a warning. It's like, if you don't want to get a speeding ticket, slow down. I usually get waved at by police officers because they know I'm one of their own, wearing a CMSP instructor vest. But that doesn't mean they won't give me a ticket if I'm riding dangerously or speeding. Of course they will. For them it's easy money. So somewhere up here there'll be a policeman, somewhere, or not. He may have gone. He should be here right about now, according to the map. But no, it looks like he's either pulled someone over up ahead, or he's further up ahead. He's chasing someone. Or he's gone. Oh no, there he is. He was there. Highway patrol sitting there. So yeah, there you go. Perfect example of why I use Waze on my cell phone. It just gives me a heads up. There was a police SUV on the right side, just waiting for some idiot to go by at 90 miles an hour. I think I was doing 75. So, and everybody's doing 75, so he's not really bothered. It's when I whiz by at 90 in the carpool lane or in the HOV lane, blissfully ignorant of police, he will put his flashing lights on and chase me down and give me probably a $300 ticket for doing anything over 80. Plus 3 points on my license and a day in court. And then I lose my instructor permit, probably. My instructor license for getting, maybe not, but there are certainly instances if you're an instructor and you're caught riding badly, speeding too much, you would lose your license. I don't want to do that. I have to walk the walk as well as talk the talk. No good me telling the world ride safely, come home alive, and then everybody watches me riding on the freeway at 95 miles an hour. Need to be good. Although it's very tempting to go fast on this bike because it wants to go fast. I'll save that for the racetrack. Hey, there's an idea. I'll take the BMW to the racetrack for a day and do a track day on this bike. See what people think. What? He's riding what on the racetrack? Everybody's on their 600cc or liter bikes or 300 or 400 Ninjas doing their track days, and I show up on a K1600. That could be fun. Maybe I'll do that. That'll be another video. So, early morning sunrise. This is actually considered to be one of the most dangerous times to ride because of the sun in your eyes. It distracts most drivers. If you're not wearing polarized lenses in your sunglasses, or you've got a photochromatic lens on your helmet, it can be blinding. You know, I am still looking as far ahead as I possibly had. My eyes right now are on the corner, way ahead on the right side of the corner where that truck is pulled over, where the truck is going around ahead. I'm looking at what's happening, giving myself plenty of buffer distance, positioning myself if I need to get out of trouble. I can, either to the left or to the right. I don't like riding on cracks in the middle of the road. I'm looking for a smooth line. So I'm reading the road for road conditions, big bumps, objects on the road. That's again, objects on the road. Oh man, the amount of crap and trash that's on Los Angeles freeways usually is enormous. I haven't seen much actually on this ride, which is nice. Very often you'll see a sofa in the middle of the road. Yeah, a sofa. Got a biker coming up next to me on the left, tucked in, pull in behind him. So that's a good example of the wind in you. He is got a lot of wind on him. He's tucked in, his head's down, he's trying to be as aerodynamic as he possibly can. Or I'm just cruising in a bubble of comfortable silence. His bike is loud, there's a lot going on as he's riding. But he's young. You can do that kind of stuff when you're young. So yeah, right now, this is where it's dangerous to ride. You've got cars on the road and they're all suffering. They've all got their visors down, trying to block the sun from their eyes. Look at that visor down. Struggling to see the lines on the road and their position on the road. And even with the photochromatic lens, you know, to be honest, it's still bright. It's gone, you know, if you were looking at me from a car, all you'd see would be a black visor. You can't see my face or eyes right now. It's completely tinted. And my vision, I'll have to put the camera actually, I'll have to do that someday and show you the difference of what the sun just looks like a big yellow ball. And it's not blinding per se, but I'm not squinting. That's the main thing. I don't feel like I need to be wearing polarized sunglasses under my visor at all. But my awareness level and my radar for danger, Will Robinson certainly goes up when I'm riding in conditions like this, because I'm more aware of the fact that the other drivers in their cars are actually being blinded, probably more than me. So they're more likely to swerve or just not be aware of cars stopping in front of them, not slowing down quickly enough. So it is a dangerous time to ride. You need to be aware that that sun in your eyes, you should do what you can to mitigate the sun. Wear really good sunglasses, get a photochromatic lens on your visor. Or don't ride east straight into the sun first thing in the morning if you don't have to. I have to. I don't have a choice. I'm going southeast right now in order to get to this job. Anyway, it's almost time to try the cruise control. Now the brand new versions of this on the RT and the K1600 have adaptive cruise control, which means the bike has a radar system built into it, and as the traffic ahead of you slows down, if you set your speed to say 75 and the traffic slows down to 70, the bike will sense that and slow down. You won't have to cancel the cruise control, and it does it for you, which is phenomenal. This does not have that. It does have cruise control, but it won't slow down for me. I still need to concentrate on what's going on in front of me. So if I turn it on, and then click set, oh yeah, a little light came up on the dash and it says set. I can actually take my right hand off the throttle. Cruise control is set, and now I can relax. This is the first bike I've ever had cruise control on. I have a throttle lock, which I used on many of my other bikes, but it's a manual, mechanical, one of those grippers here on the grip that just locks itself in position and presses down on the front brake lever and holds the throttle in the position that you set it at. So you set it and it'll just hold the throttle open. This is much more sophisticated. But I can tell you what, I mean, I don't know how many, I've probably done 40 miles now, 45 miles, I don't know. Maybe not that much yet, 35 miles. The wind protection on this bike is just extraordinarily good. It really, really is something special. I mean, say what you like about BMWs, not everybody's a fan of the brand or the bikes, but I have never ridden anything quite like this that is just so stable, so planted, and gives you so much wind protection, aerodynamic protection from the elements. I just feel like I'm being hugged. That's the best way of describing it, being hugged. I'm hugged from the side and a little hug from the back, gently pulling me forward into the bike. So the wind's coming around and just sort of tucking in a little bit behind me. I've got no wind whatsoever on my face. It's quiet, it's comfortable. Ooh, wow, that is sunny. That's burning globes of flame. That is bright light. Wow, wow, wow. So yeah, that gives you a nice silhouette of the vehicles in front of me. It's hard to even see. There we go. So yeah, when you come over a hill like that and the sun's right in your face, danger, danger. Be aware, be careful. Get ready to slow down, brake, swerve, do what you need to do, get yourself out of trouble. But when I am preparing myself for a big blast of sunshine, which will be coming up in just a minute, I'm basically preparing myself to swerve, brake, or stop. Because here we go, you can see the line of sun on the ground, and boom, sun in the face. If we were in heavy morning traffic commute, you know, this is where all the cars would be braking at this point with the sun in their eyes. You have that domino effect. But not this morning. This morning is it's like a zombie apocalypse. There's no one on the road. There's very little traffic. Which, to be honest, makes it a lot safer for this long ride. And this isn't really a long ride. 120 miles. Oh, I'm getting off here. I was not paying attention to Waze. Almost missed that exit point. Luckily there was no traffic to my right. So yeah, I was thinking, oh, I'll just sit on the freeway and drive. So that's where the sun comes in, and it's so bright in your face. I'm more concerned about what's going on the freeway in front of me than looking down at my GPS map, and I don't have the verbal directions going on, so I'm not listening to the GPS giving me directions, which if I was not talking on the GoPro mic, I would be listening to directions, and that wouldn't have happened. But again, it's a good example of, you know, had there been a lot of traffic to my right, I would have just missed that exit. The safest thing to do is not swerve across 3 lanes of traffic trying to get off. Miss the exit, go to the next exit, turn around, come back and catch the one you want, or just take some surface streets across town to pick up the freeway again at a different point. The only reason I did that was because I had absolutely no traffic on the road and it was completely safe. So he was braking because he saw me in the rear view mirror and think, uh-oh, I got a cop behind me. So this is a crappy little bit of freeway, 71 to Corona. Oh, it's asphalt, but the quality of the road is appalling. There's a lot of big cracks in the road, holes, bumps. There's usually a lot of traffic. As you can see, there's a lot more than the freeway. It is still a freeway, 2-lane freeway. As you can see, I'm positioning myself here in the center because I want to look as far ahead as I can. I got a truck, I've got an SUV, and I want to be able to look straight ahead. If I'm over here, I can't see doo-doo. I have no idea what's going on ahead of me. All I can see is the back of that grey SUV. So, in order to be safe, position yourself so that you can see as far ahead as you possibly can. This way I'm looking between the traffic, everything that's going on as far ahead as I possibly can. I'm going to get over to the right lane because I'll be exiting in 4.5 miles, 71 south. That's a while. At 80 miles an hour, that's in about 3.5 minutes. Again, just moving into a position where it gives me more visibility. Doesn't really matter whether you're riding in the slow lane or the... Let this guy come in. So I'm staying on this for another 3 miles. So It's a little more interesting ride than I thought it was going to be, in the sense of we're taking different freeways instead of just sitting on the 405 South or the 5 Freeway South. Long straight freeway from Canada to Mexico. So I think what I'm going to do in a couple of minutes is pull over and change the battery on the GoPro and see if any of this is recorded. Stretch my legs for a second and go from there. So I'm going to find a nice safe spot to pull off the road. What I typically do if I'm pulling off, I want to make sure I've got a lot of space behind me, and I can see traffic coming on. So this is a good spot, nice straight road ahead, avoid that bump, and I'm just going to get onto the hard shoulder here so I can see I've got lots and lots of space to rejoin the freeway quickly. And what I want to do is be as far over as I possibly can into neutral, side stand, and we'll stop the bike. Disconnect my airbag. Lovely. The other thing I do is get the other side of the bike. You don't want to be standing on the traffic side of the bike. And we'll see if any of this is still recording. Yeah, it looks like it. The red light's still on. So I will find my spare batteries. Oh gosh, I love these side panniers. They hold so much stuff, which is really, really awesome. Alright, here it is. Here's my spare battery for the GoPro. Put this away, close it up. There we go. And disconnect. So I'll say bye-bye for a few seconds before I Alright, so I'm not actually, I don't have the microphone on, it's just me holding the GoPro, but interestingly, the battery gave me, I was still at 31%, so there was 31% battery life after an hour of recording. So that's pretty cool. I wasn't expecting that. But I still put a brand new battery in, even though I could have probably gone an hour and a half on the battery. So I'm going to put this back on. There's the bike, side of the freeway. Heading to Temecula. There you go, maybe we can do the whole tinted bit. So that's through the visor at the sun. And that's to the sun without the visor. So sun visor, no visor. So as you can see, that photochromatic lens is pretty awesome. So now I have to put this on the mount, plug this in. For the microphone, hopefully the mic is still picking up. Center it, make sure I can close my helmet and visor. There you go. So you can see that's helmet up, helmet down. Alright, so time to go back on the bike. I love these gloves. These are absolutely fantastic gloves. The more I wear them, the more I love them. They are so comfortable. They keep your hands warm. They're armored. They're just amazing gloves. Amazing gloves. I was very skeptical. But I'm not anymore. They give me very good protection. They're warm. They're comfortable. They give me lots of control. Now, for some reason, for the entire ride, start the bike. My GPS here was on view map, ready to navigate. It was trying to take me home, I think. There we go. Alright, it says, well, I'm 37 miles, 32 minutes, half an hour away, so final half-hour ride. Oh. Plug in my airbag vest. Safety, safety, safety. Gloves are tight. Bike is good. Looking in my left mirror for a clear spot of traffic. Not that I really need it because, you know, on a bike you can just get up to speed quickly and go. Make sure my panniers are all locked and safe and closed. And we're away. Oh my, this thing's got a lot of power. Have to be good, have to be good, have to be good. Slow down, slow down, slow down. But I don't want to. Gosh, I wish the freeway was always like this. Clear, empty of traffic. I guess the secret to riding on the LA freeways is do it on a Sunday morning early. I think this evening when the class is done, my ride home is going to be a lot busier because it's Sunday night traffic and it's going to be a lot heavier, a lot more traffic, all the beach crowd heading home, everybody who went away for the weekend coming back into town. I'm expecting a lot more traffic on Sunday night, which is this evening. My class goes till about 4:30 in the afternoon. And then I'll be getting on the road. Right lane ends. So probably from the picture that you're looking at from my helmet viewpoint, the road looks pretty smooth. It really isn't. On this bike it's got fantastic suspension, but I'm still jiggling on the bike. You know, I'm still feeling the poor road surface quality. I mean, seriously, how hard is it in 2021 to pour flat concrete and level it out and smooth it out? I've even seen those massive machines that grind the surface of the roads to try and get them smooth. So they absolutely have no excuse. I just think it's poor workmanship. Our tax dollars being wasted. Although I'm sure compared to some places in the world, these roads are magnificent. Well, I've driven and ridden in Arizona and Nevada, and some of their roads there are just, oh, so smooth, so quiet, so flat, beautifully maintained, really, really high quality freeways. And they get just as much sunshine, if not more. They get just as much heat. They may not get as much traffic, which I think is the reason why they go with concrete, just because it wears harder, lasts longer. Check that view out. Isn't that pretty? It's really pretty. So I got no traffic in front of me. I can just look to the left, hold that while I there's a burn there. There's trees here, but yeah, so pretty. These giant cracks in the road and tar snakes. Stay off those. These hillsides will be brown in a few weeks' time. Little tiny bit of rain we had a few weeks ago and everything is green. It's beautiful. But if we don't get any more rain, these will be brown, 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 dead grass, dead brush. So it's now 7 o'clock in the morning, 7 a.m. Been riding about an hour. Traffic is getting a little heavier. Not by much, but noticed a few more cars on the road. Everybody's driving at 80. And I'm on this freeway, the 91 east, for another couple of miles before I take the 15 south towards San Diego. The sun's getting a little bit higher in the sky, so if I dip my helmet down, it's almost at the top rim of my helmet and not in my eyes anymore, which is nice. Sign 15. Barstow or San Diego? You want to go north to Vegas through Barstow, or you want to go south to San Diego? For me, it's south to San Diego. So I don't know if anybody's going to watch this video. To be honest, it's probably pretty boring. I mean, I've added the commentary just because maybe there's a few pearls of wisdom dotted in amongst the 100-mile ride. Maybe people watching this just want to see what the freeways are like in Los Angeles on a Sunday morning, or have that little bit of experience of what it's like to be on a K1600 on the freeway. I'm rapidly falling in love with this bike. For what it does it really, really well. Nice not to have the sun in my face. The photochromatic lens is really good. I do recommend these Bell helmets and these pin lock visors. They're great. And the lens tinting is wonderful. Keep the sun out of your face. But still, when it's right in your eyes, wow, it's still bright. So according to my Waze directions, we're looking at 21 miles before I get to my destination. So 21 uneventful, safe miles. But I have absolutely no tiredness whatsoever. There's no real effort involved in riding this. There's no physical effort. I'm not, you know, putting in a lot of energy. All my concentration is on the road and situational awareness. I'm nice and relaxed, which is very, very important when you're riding. Be relaxed. breathe and smile and enjoy the ride. Oh, so bumpy this road. Bump, 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 bump. This bike just eats up the miles. It just swallows them. Oh blimey, I'm doing 92. As you can see from the big white sign, speed limit 65, radar enforced. So yeah, maybe I should slow down a little. Oh, now the speed limit's up to 70. So if we apply the 10% rule, which is typically highway patrol officers won't give you a ticket unless you're doing more than 10% over the speed limit, in my experience. I think that's a kind of an unwritten rule, but certainly if they're having a bad day and they want to give you a ticket, they'll give you a ticket for whatever. But if the speed limit is 70, 10% is 7 miles an hour over the limit, so they'll let you do 75, 76. You're pushing it at 77, 78, even if the speed limit is 70. So my rule of thumb is to try and keep it. Obviously, you want to be riding at the speed of freeway traffic, but unfortunately, the police do not accept your answer of, why were you speeding, sir? And you turn around and be like, well, everybody else was. That doesn't wash with them. If you're the unlucky son of a you-know-what to get the ticket and to be zapped by their radar gun, that's your problem. I know some of these big bikes, they put radar detectors built onto them. I do have a radar detector, I'm just not sure where I'd mount it. Probably right in front on the windshields, that black metal bar there. Get a clip for that or something, and that way it's right in front of my line of vision without obscuring my line of vision. That might be a good spot for it. Have to think about clipping it on there. Problem with radar detectors is just the modern ones are so incredibly sensitive. They just pick up everything else as well as the police radar. But I found using mine, even though I do have a good one, it just beeps and flashes and gives me false readings more often than not. Traffic lights will make it beep, and microwaves will make it beep, and just radio interference sometimes along the same frequency level that the police use on their XYK band radar. So 14 miles to go according to my map. So, very pretty hills here. Lovely topography, that's the word, isn't it? Landscape. cruise control back on. Set it at, what am I doing there, 78, 79, something like that. It's going to be interesting to see what sort of miles per gallon it gives me with this sort of drive. I filled it to the brim, so what I'll do is I'll look and see what the computer says, because it has a built-in MPG, miles per gallon. It should see if it's accurate or not. I'll just I know how many miles I've ridden there and back when I get back tonight, and I'll top it up with gas all the way to the top like I did this morning, and then figure out how much fuel I put in and divide the gallons and by the number of miles I did, and that will give me my miles per gallon. I think most BMW forums said you get between 35 and 45 miles per gallon, depending on the style of riding, how fast you go. Whether you're at high altitude or super low altitude, or, you know, got an extra person on the back, or panniers full of luggage, your weight and stuff. And we got a police officer to the right, sitting there with a speed trap. So yeah, that wasn't actually on Waze. I did not see that when I look at the video. I'll look back, but there was a police SUV on the right hand side waiting for speeders to go by, so I'm glad I was set at 78, not going too fast. If I'd zipped by at 90, we'd now be seeing the blue and red flashing lights behind me, pulling me over, and then I'll have to explain that I'm well, that hasn't happened, so we don't even have to worry about it. That's a good thing. So Waze is only as good as the information that other drivers put into it while they're driving. So, and when I'm riding, I'm not going to touch my phone. I'm not going to mess around with entering, oh, I saw a police car at this spot, and enter that information. It's just I need my hands on the handlebars for control. I could do it, but that's setting a very bad example to the rest of you out there. Lake Elsinore, 7 miles. That is where I'm going. San Diego County. We're out of Los Angeles County into San Diego County now. So it's about 20 past 7 in the morning. Sun is up, sky is blue, there's not a cloud in the sky. I have no idea what the temperature is outside. I don't know, there's probably a temperature gauge on the bike somewhere. I've not learned how to use all of the jog and shuttle controls on my left wrist here to scroll through all of the information. I need to learn to do that. to be pretty intuitive, easy, just to dial through. But you know, anytime you're looking down at gauges and reading anything other than what's going on the road, you're putting yourself in danger. So I did not buy this motorcycle for all the bells and whistles technology that they've added to it. I bought it for the traction control, stability control, being able to brake in the corners, linked ABS, cruise control. I bought it for all those reasons. Fantastic stability, long distance cruising, you know, the aerodynamics and the wind protection it affords you on the freeway, just a really comfortable ride. I didn't buy it because I can change radio stations and scroll through all the other stuff it offers you. It's nice that it's there, but I'll play with that when I'm stopped. So another 5 miles or so and I'll be getting off the freeway, and this journey will be over. I will be at my destination in 7 minutes. Hopefully, fingers crossed, the last 30 minutes of this ride have been captured. I can slap the two together. There's nothing worse when your GoPro just stops recording and you're left scratching your head and you're like, why? I switched it on, I checked the settings, I hit the record button, it showed that it was recording. Ugh, but it happens, it is what it is. They are pretty reliable, but not, in my experience, to be the most reliable things. They're not 100% reliable. I know they don't like getting hot, so they need to be kept out of the sun. So when you ride, you've got the wind on them, which keeps them cool, which is nice. Even though they are in the sun, I think the wind chill factor keeps them cool. Electronics prefer to be cool. But I was quite impressed with the battery life for the first hour of the ride, basically 53 minutes, 54 minutes of riding, and I still had 31% of the battery according to the display, but that might have been deceiving, and that would have been pushing it to go a full another half an hour on that battery. The objective was to record the entire ride from Santa Clarita to Lake Elsinore, the whole 110 miles. quickly. Here we go, Diamond Drive, Railroad Canyon Road, which is my exit. Now, this is my first time coming here, so hopefully I don't get lost. Right on Diamond Drive, green light. So we're getting close. Oh, I'm looking around for the motorcycle range. Nice big dip here. Well, it says to go right there, but I know that is not it. From reading the directions they gave me, they said take Malaga Road, but it looks like the road is closed. Oh, bugger. Head down there anywhere. It's the beauty of a motorcycle. Oh, there we go. There they are. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed this little video. I am safely at my destination. So I will be signing off pretty soon. Looks like they are setting up for practice. And I'm going to put myself next to this nice big RT. There we go. Alright, guys and girls, thank you for watching. Ride safely. Come home alive.